Hey Dreamers, this is Jacked Up Plays, and today we're going to do another Sculpt video. And the Sculpt video is not about the Cyber Street. Don't worry, I'm still working on that. But I need to have a little bit of like a break with the Cyber Street. You probably already have noticed, like maybe you have noticed the banner in my YouTube channel has changed into just my logo. I will tell you a little bit of like yeah, what I mean with that. It's I always like wanted to do like at least upload every week at least a sculpt video at least every week, and so far that always went well. But regarding with the latest things in the world that's happening right now, I'm going to need to explain what's happening in the world, but basically I cannot like full-blown doing a lot of like recording and stuff like that. My energy bill needs to be paid as well, so and the PlayStation 4 is quite using a lot of energy, and my computer is using a lot of energy. So if you combine all that all together, it's a lot of energy that I'm using, and I'm always recording ahead of time, so I always record things ahead. And yeah, that's like I need to do something different this time. It's my channel's not that big enough to like financially to like do every week a content or every week in sculpture. So I'm like going to do something different these days. I'm going to, as you can see right now, I'm sculpting a horse hat, and I forgot to do the begin part of the horse hat, basically. Well, simply because like I forgot to sculpt. Sorry, I forgot to record the first part of the horse hat. I forgot to click on recording, but now I'm just doing it. So now I'm just like recording like from the beginning, basically. Still it looks still like a dragon, but yeah, I eventually it's going to like look like a horse, sort of. It's not going to be like a normal horse. It is actually going to be something like like more for Halloween. Is going to be a Headless Horseman. So basically they're going to be sitting a person on top of this horse, and the horse will have some red eyes, and it's going to be in black and with some mane blowing in the wind. So that's all what we're going to do. And also this is not actually me live recording right now my voice. I could pretend that I was like doing this live, but I'm not, simply because like I was like not like recording my voice while I was doing this. But so there's like me going to talk a little bit over it, and so I'm just going to do a little bit of like tell you a little bit of like other stories maybe along the way. Maybe I'm going to do some podcasts. I don't know, like if you like some podcasting as well. I'm also like doing some testing at the moment right now. I have like I bought a new ventilator, like a fan for my desktop. The other one was like crackling a lot, so I couldn't really use that one during like the high summer while I was like recording, because you will hear absolutely the sound of that thing. Now this one is pretty blowing a lot, like I'm not really sure if the wind is going to be recorded. If so, then I'm very sorry still, but it's still a little bit warm inside my house right now. It's already cooling down at the moment, but yeah, it's so hot. But luckily not as worse as that was a few weeks ago. So yeah, now you know why I haven't uploaded any in the past 2 weeks. I think it's already 2 weeks that I haven't really like uploaded anything as sculpting for the Cyber Street. I'm very sorry for that. I will, of course, I'm not stopping it. I'm not abandoning the Cyber Street series, of course. Like I'm still going to use that for my stream. I first wanted to like also stream on YouTube, but sadly I cannot do that as it's not allowed to do that when you are affiliated with Twitch. That's against the TOS, so I cannot do that. But I will always upload my sculpting videos, of course, at least on YouTube. So if you have missed some videos about me sculpting, I will always upload some of that on YouTube as well, and also upload eventually the live stream itself. So if you have missed my live streams, I will upload them every month. At the moment, it will be one live stream each month, basically the first Monday of the month. That's where you can watch my live stream, my complete live stream back. The reason why I'm doing this like this, because my live stream takes 5-6 hours in total, and that's quite a lot of to watch altogether. So I thought it was a little bit pointless to upload so many things all at once, and simply it's also very time consuming to upload all the live streams that I'm doing from Twitch. Basically, if you really want see me live sculpting, and also sometimes live playing Dreams games, and sometimes I do also variety games. I sometimes play other games if I want to. So it's not only Dreams, but it's mostly Dreams. It's I think it's more Dreams than anything else. But sometimes it happens that I'm streaming if there's a new game coming out from the PlayStation. I streamed completely the full gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I did that without the DLC because Sony basically blocked that from all the PlayStation 4 users, and I don't have a PlayStation 5. But money talks, I guess. So I couldn't play the DLC, but it's a little bit sad. But oh well. Good for you if you have a PlayStation 5. I really felt that that was a really a low punch in the stomach, because that was not very nice of Sony and also from Square, because they took the money. So yeah, so so what you can see here, I was trying to figure out how to do a little bit basically the ears of the horse. Like I said, it's not going to be a normal horse. It's not going to be a friendly looking one. So I tried to do it a little bit spikier, so a little bit more almost demon type of horse, because I really thought that would really nice to do. I really thought that would be cool. First, this one was the first try a little bit of but it looks like a little bit horn, so I didn't really want that, of course. I of course added a little bit later on. But the reason why I'm sculpting this particular one is simply because it is at the moment of recording. There is a Halloween event going on from Media Molecule, although it's not really called Halloween, but it's called All Hallows Dreams. And this time you have a forest where you can build something in the middle, in the center of that, and that's it. And you can do whatever you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build a sort of a ruin inside, and there will be a Headless Horseman on the rooftops, or at least somewhere in the scene. I'm not really sure where I'm going to place it. I assume I'm going to do it on the rooftop with some special effects, although you're not allowed to do some strobing lights. So I mean, they put all the things away that it's it is for Halloween fitting. But I do understand that some people with flashing lights and stuff like that, some people cannot take that. I understand that, but at least make a choice between people that at least a warning, okay, these rooms are with strobing lights and these not. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not that I'm going to do strobing lights, but I really wanted to have thunder effects and stuff like that. Maybe I can still do it, but I'm very subtle. They said that you can still have very subtle lighting effects. So maybe I'll do still some thunder effects, but then very very it's barely visible. I think that's like it's not so worse because like lighting, if you do it like very barely visible, it gives maybe a little bit more effect. Although, yeah, well, but so it's going to be in ruin basically, and there will be some things happening inside there. It all depends. Like I have so many ideas right now, but it all depends on how many time I have in total and if I can manage it to do it in the time that we have. We have 14 days to complete this creation. It needs to be under the 14 days. I think it's like the 9th of September that it needs to be done, which at the moment of recording it's now 28th of August, so I have not much time left. So yeah, so like I started in the weekend and I started with a trinket, which is another thing you could do as well to participate into the event if you're not really into making something like a super big forest, something like inside the forest thing, but you still want to participate into the All Hallow Dreams, the Lost Forest Dreams. I always forget that name, but yeah. So like basically, it's like a small asset that you can build, and it looks like a dog by the way right now. It's not like a horse at the moment. Don't worry, it's going to be on a horse eventually. But the trinket is just like a small asset that you can build, and I had a lot of fun to do that. Like I did that live on stream, and I made a tombstone, gravestone, whatever you're you're pronouncing that, of course, differently in English. But so that's what I made, and I tried to have as much detail as I could for a tombstone under the 2% graphic thermo. I did use 2 sculptures, as it was in the guidelines saying that you can only use 2 sculptures and not more. Painting was allowed, so I cheated a little bit. Well, not cheating, but bending the rules, the guidelines, although. So what I did was like I made a 3rd sculpt and I convert that into paint, and that's allowed. So as long as like it's very subtle and it's not like super annoying or anything like that. If you're going to make something like a trinket yourself, make sure that the whole sculpture is not collidable. So, and that means like everything inside, so also the 2nd sculpture that's including in your scene, so it needs not to be collidable. I think for what I assume was going to happen, I think they're going to place it on the ground somewhere. Maybe there's like one forest like made by Media Molecule. I'm not really sure what they're going to do, but I assume something like that, just like what they did last year with the scarecrows and stuff like that. So they're probably going to do like they place it on the ground. And if you place something like tiny assets on the ground, which is also a very good tip, by the way, that I actually wanted to make a tutorial for this, to be honest. I have not really done that one yet, but I don't think it's like a big of a deal, but I was thinking to make a tutorial out of that, because like I see that sometimes people make, for example, flowers in Sculpt version, but they made it collidable still. So if you're going to walk around an environment, your puppet is like it's stuck and gliding, and it's glitching over all those little assets like flowers and stuff like that, and that you don't really want to happen. That's like game breaking stuff. So this is why probably Media Molecule is also going to tell you, please remove the collidable option, because I think what they're going to do is something like that. Just they put something on the ground, what you made as a trinket, and then you can like walk around inside a forest. I assume it's going to be a forest also with that. And they place all the trinkets across the forest, and you don't want that your character is going to get stuck or get glitched through all the objects. So make sure your object is non-collidable, basically. So that's what we so that's actually what I actually want to tell about that. And I was like really thinking about to do a tutorial because like I still see sometimes that happening in other dreams creations, like mostly with open world stuff. Like if people make open world games, they place random flowers and trees, and trees is okay, like, but like bushes and stuff like that, don't make bushes collidable unless it's a boundary. Like if it's like for like a boundary that you need to make, then you can use the bushes for that, although I would not recommend you to do that, because then the character can still glide and glitch into. So always make boundaries by a single plane. I am maybe doing that as a tutorial. Maybe that's have I done already that? No, I don't think I have done a tutorial like that before. No, I have not. I think that's a good idea for a tutorial. That's definitely a good idea for the tutorial. Now, I'm not really getting a lot of like comments on my YouTube channel, so otherwise I would make it like a Q&A at the moment if people have questions or stuff like that. But mostly I always have respond. If I got comments, I already responded mostly to them, or at least hearted the comment if I thought it was a very sweet comment. But then it's not really a comment that you can really reply to or anything like that. But if you really want to have like me doing this more often as a podcast, and while I'm like still playing like a video in the background, I think that will be maybe a little bit better. So yeah, that's basically what I'm planning to do. So as you can see right now, this is like, it's become slowly a horse. It still looks like maybe like a dog, but I'm still trying to figure out where where I need to like cut things away. A little bit of disclaimer: I never ever sculpted a horse ever in my entire life. Not in other programs, not outside dreams. I probably made a drawing like when I was like a child, a kid, of an horse. But yeah, so I never made one in a sculpt form, as in 3D sculpt form. So it was like completely new, and I had some reference pictures, different ones basically, to see where like the autonomy is for the horse. So I really wanted to keep that a little bit like the same, and then giving a little bit my own touch, like I said, like make the horse a little bit more evil and a little bit more darker and stuff like that, but still keep the autonomy a little bit closer to the OG, like a normal horse. But I'm giving my my own touch a little bit here and there, as I always do with my sculptures, by the way. I always use my own style and stuff like that. So yeah, so that was like me trying to figure it out. But if you're like would love to see maybe this type of content more often, instead of like me live sculpting and live talking about it, I maybe will do that still, like no matter what. But like sometimes like these things happen. Sometimes I'm sculpting and I the reason with me is like, also the reason why I'm not always streaming dreams is because if I stream dreams, and if I have like people talking in the chat, and I will be very slow. I'm already a very slow sculptor in general. Like I'm already a super slow sculptor in general. But if there are also like people like basically talking in the chat or when you are live, which is totally fine. I don't mind. I love to talk. But yeah, sometimes like you're like you're going to be slower than you already are. So so the reason why I'm not always going to do this probably and do like maybe a little podcast over the video, sort of like the idea, and then I need to see still how I'm going to do this content. I don't know, maybe I will still change this, I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you really want to rather want to have me live sculpting with live voice over it, I will still do that, of course, if you prefer that over than this, because I cannot maybe understand maybe also why you would want to have me live reacting to while what I'm doing. I can understand that, but it was for me just like I had no other choice for this one. But at least like I was not ready to be planning. Sorry, I was not planning to record this progress, but I thought maybe it was fun to show this as well. So basically what I did here is I sculpted this like in my own time privately, but then recording it. So without me recording a voice, like me talking over it, but well, now talking over it because like I'm doing an additional narrating over it. But it was really it was difficult to do this, I have to be honest, because like I said, it was the first time I sculpted a horse, and I had to really look really careful where like the neck, the veins are, and where everything is, and so I like, it was fun but also very tricky to do. But once I'm like heading, I think when I'm like getting a little bit like closer to the body itself, I started to get the feeling of it. I eventually got like I got the hang out of it, like okay, this is going to get something now. And there was like another like an issue that I had later on, and you're going to see it soon, are the legs. This is like a thing that I have really also in with if I'm drawing in real life. Drawing hands and drawing like faces also, sometimes faces can be hard to do, but hands and fingers and feet are always the hardest part to do. So I spent a lot of time, I think I lost a lot of time on that part. I spent a lot of time on the feet, basically. It are feet, because the horse is of course is it noble in English? But like yeah, so like so the horse feet were like and the legs they were a little bit more difficulty to do so, because like they are like a little bit different. They have like very small legs, like with especially if they have like a trained horse, and I really want to give still the feeling that this horse was a little bit buffed, but also very athletic, sorry, but also a little bit buffed and athletic and a little bit scary in between. So I really tried to find a good balance between that. I really want to like make the horse look like he is, you don't want to like see this one in a dark place, basically. He's not a friendly one. Maybe he is friendly, but I don't think so. It's not going to be a friendly one, but maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? But no, I really want to give this horse a little bit of like a buffed look, and so a little bit more trained. So like a lot of like veins going on. I still like trying to figure out here the cheeks of the horse. Like the cheeks of the horse are a little bit bigger, maybe, but yeah, the cheeks were like a little bit more difficult. Maybe I could have like done the cheeks a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll do that later in the video, I don't know, but I think I kept it like this sort of, because like he's like, it's a very trained horse. Like he it's a fast one. Like it's not like a horse that's been used for to ride like carts or anything like that. It's not like a working horse. It's actually like a battle horse, basically. And so that's what I was trying to focus on. The eyes I will eventually replace somewhere. The eyes are going to be different sculpts, and they're going to be red looking. I'm not really sure if that's already in this video. I think it's way later. I think it's like in another part section of this video. But so yeah, like okay, I'm going to make the cheeks a little bit bigger. Okay, never mind. I am doing the cheeks a little bit bigger. Yeah, see, they can see that. All right. But yeah, like I said, like this horse was very fun to make, and it was definitely not easy, but it, like when I like eventually got like the body in its total, it really felt like it came alive. And I eventually like I'm using also a puppet on top of it to see the like the height reference, because like I really want to stay, of course, also with like that, like it's not going to be a small head and a big body. So what I had to do is like I had to eventually also to add an additional character, like from Dreams, basically, like just like the normal puppet. to see a little bit of like the height reference. As you can see, like I'm sculpting it all freely. I'm not really using like height, and I do it out of my hat, and I've always done it like that. I've never really done like what school is teaching you always, with like make circles and the different circles and other circles, and I always been like a free drawer basically. I always did stuff like out of my head, out of my mind, out of like my hand, and loose. And the reason why I'm doing it that way, because it gets you're going to learn it a little bit faster, or not fast, but you're going to learn where everything is, as in like proportions, and so that's like really cool. So you're not really going, it's not that like some people, it depends what you want to do, of course. Well, some people like make a drawing before they go to start sculpting. I'm not really doing that. I'm just like, I have some vision in my mind, in my head, and of course I'm looking at reference pictures here and there, but that's only for the autonomy, like how the horse is basically built. But the rest is all me, like out of my mind, like out of my head, out of my mind, out of my head. I'm doing stuff, and it gives a little bit more personal touch if you do that, instead of like something that is already existing, something that is already out there. And I really didn't want to try to make the horse just like as it is in what you're going to expect in real life. As like I said, there's going to be a angry horse, like an evil, not even like a dark evil horse. That's basically what it is. Like those horses a little bit you see in the Lord of the Rings, that's from the Nazguls. Like the ring rates, no, the ring rates are the dragons, but the Nazguls. Oh, here you can see that I'm using that puppet to see a little bit of like the reference. And I must say that I was actually surprised that I got so close to like the actual size of the head of the horse. And I was like, when I was like placing the puppet, I was like, oh wow, I actually did make the hat pretty already okay. So that was like that was really cool. I could have maybe make the horse a little bit like, I'm going to like place the puppet a little bit further down. There you go. So I had a little bit of like reference now, and see was like, okay, do I need to have the hat bigger, or is this already fine? And I was like, I think that was already fine in my taste. Like I said, it's going to be an evil horse, so I didn't really want to make him too big in the hat and stuff like that. I really want to because it's going to be a little bit part of the character as well. The character, I'm not really sure how I'm going to visualize the character yet. I think what I'm going to do is he's going to wear a cape, and of course without a hat. But I'm also thinking like maybe he should like have the hat in his hand, what you normally see like in the stuff like that. So you will see me doing that in a bit. But so basically like this character is like holding his own hat in his hand while he's riding this horse. But yeah, there was so fun to do, and I'm not sure if I will do it something like this again. I'm maybe going to like reuse this asset a few times, maybe in the future for other projects, but then not making it evil, but maybe make it a statue or something like that. I think it would be cool, because like I made a certain pose on this horse. So the horse is having a pose with one of the legs is like standing a little bit in the front, and the rest is just like standing. So it's like, it's almost like it's a certain pose of a horse that I gave. Here I'm going to like delete the hat. So that, because like it's the horse, the Headless Horseman. So that's what we're going to do, and like he is going to like hold with the other arm, he's going to hold this hat eventually. I don't think I will do that later, but that's what I'm going to do eventually. But yeah, like about my channel, basically about YouTube, about Twitch. Like I said, I am often more on Twitch than I'm on YouTube. Like I said, YouTube is only meant for my VODs, my sculpting videos, my tutorials, if I have a tutorial, of course, and of course, like my previous streams that I have and on Twitch. That's where everything goes live, and then you can see me there if you really don't want to miss that. I also like I'll always keep my VODs. So if you have missed one of my streams, you can still go to Twitch and you can always watch my streams back. But if you don't want to go Twitch, or if you don't have Twitch account, I will also upload everything to YouTube as well. It's a special channel section called streams, dream streams. That's where I always upload every month the previous streams. That will take me a little bit of time. It's a lot of time consuming to do that, so I am a little bit like it has a little bit of a delay than of course the live stuff, but eventually it will be there, and so that's what I'm going to do. Like content wise, I still need to figure like what I really want to do as content. Like I said, like I want to have like at least like one video a week, but with the current state of things that's going with the gas prices and energy bills rising up in the sky, it's no fun. But that's for everybody, of course. But it's hitting me pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to that. So I have to downscale my way of doing things, sadly. So what I'm going to do is I will still release from time to time sculpting videos, like these type of videos. I will of course still continue Cyber Street series. I'm not done that, far from done. There's still a lot to do in that scene. I still need to make like billboards, like neon lights, little props on the ground that I need to make, rain pipes, and a lot of stuff like I still need to build. Probably going to maybe remake the brick wall again, because I'm still not happy with the outcome. So there's like still a lot of like things that I really need to do for the Cyber Street, and I will do that. But I thought maybe this is maybe fun to have a little bit of break in between, because there's an event going on. And at the moment we have still 2 weeks, and I will of course do this in parts again, so this will be an hour or something like that, and then I will do a few hours after that. I think that's like 3 hours in total, this whole progress. So what I'm going to do is I will release this, so you will see the end result basically after the deadline of this event. And I always do it somehow like that, so yeah, so like you still can be surprised a little bit of like how things going to look like. So like the last video will be in, I think, just like before October basically. So maybe I will upload this. You have nothing to do with this like information, but maybe I will upload this around Halloween time. I can also do that, to be honest. Like spoiler alert, if you're like hearing me talking like that. I'm like recording this in August, but I could maybe like release this video as well for around Halloween, so we have something for Halloween. I think maybe I will do that. I think, or what I can do is this a little bit like before Halloween, just like how I do now, and then the forest one. Maybe I will do the forest then one on Halloween day, or like on Halloween week, basically. Maybe I'll do that. But the forest, I also want to like do I also want to stream some parts of that, so I'm not really sure if it's smart to do it, but I don't know, like maybe that's what I'm going to do, actually. Well, well, this is like just like me like thinking out loud of what to do. because like because I'm not really sure if that is wise and smart. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Here you can see like I placed a like a placeholder, basically like a simple square as references for the hat. So that's how I'm basically going to like visualize the statue. Or well, there's not going to be a statue, but it's going to be an actually like a human on the horse. But I had to need to have the puppet so I can see what I want to have the style on the puppet with, and he's going to hold that hand in his hand. I make his cheeks a little bit bigger here. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun to make this one. It was not very easy, but I think like if you see also the end result, I think that I did okay. This is far from the end result, of course. You can see he's a little bit buffed, right? Like under him, it's a little bit more buffed. I was actually thinking like, is his hat not too small? But I kind of like to have his hat like that, so it's a little bit on. I kind of like that. The bottom, the butt, the horse butt is also need to be done. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So yeah, he's a thick boy, or a girl. I don't know what it is actually. I don't know but yeah, like it's like the thing what I really want to do eventually also on Twitch is that I'm still trying to get a like Stream Deck. And if you don't know what Stream Deck is basically a device with buttons where if like you can like control things, like I can like switch to different scenes really quickly without going all the way to my computer. So I can like have like simple single buttons to go to one scene to the other, or I can like make some special effects and stuff like that. And I can like do a lot of things. I can interact maybe a little bit more in the stream itself as well. I also have, for people that really want to see me live sculpting, like live on Twitch, I also have now stream avatars available, and the only avatars that you can see are of course dreams related. So I make I've made so far a lot of like impies, so in pixel art, and those impies, they will like walk around and you can choose which impy you want to have. There are like a lot of different impies already that I made. Some are familiar, some impies are familiar and from the Dreamiverse. So if you play Dreams, you will recognize some of those impies versions. But I also made like ton of like my own style and versions of that, like my own impies. For example, there's one impy from Sharky, so there's a Sharky impy, and there's like one impy with an ice cream, and there's like a jack-o'-lantern. Although there's already a jack-o'-lantern in Dreams, by the way, as well. But I made a different one with a witch hat. And I also made, what else did I make? The Reaper, the Grim, how you can say that, like the Reaper, the Grim. I made one like that. So I'm Halloween ready basically for my streams. And so if you're like really curious, like if you want to have your own imp walking around on live on stream, you should go check me live on stream, and you can choose your own avatar. And once you have chose your own avatar, it will be bound to you. I think forever, unless I'm going to reset the settings, or if the server is resetting. I don't know how that works, but it can also happen when the server is resetting, then it happens as well. But it will be always bound to you. So every time when you're logging in, or every time when you are watching me live on stream, the same impy is then like bound to you, unless you're going to of course change that. But I like tons of like different impies, and you can also like choose different colors. I'm still working on to make more impy versions. If you have some suggestions, like ideas, let me know in the comments as well. Maybe I can consider to do it. Like if you're like, oh Jackson, maybe this is a good idea to have as an MP. Keep in mind that it needs to be possible to have been imp, because not every item, every character, I mean, like basically in character can maybe still, but like in every item it's always like not easy to do it in a form of an MP, so it needs to be really like MP ready basically for that. So as long as like there is a way to do that, then it's totally fine. So if you have some ideas for that, let me know. I'm happy to make to make an MP. I never made like this is like what I really like to do sometimes, is like discover new things for myself. I never made like pixel art, so all those MPs I made pixel art, and I must say I'm getting the like normally I'm not really a big fan of pixel art stuff, but I'm getting the hang out of it. It's not the best, like it's not like it's looking great or anything like that. It's not like it's super quality, but I'm enjoying it, and that's the most important, right? So I'm enjoying that, and it's really fun to do that. So basically all my whole live stream is going to be MPs. I also have like new subs, so sorry for the people that have been waiting for so long, but I only had like one sub icon first, that was Sharky, and now you have also different MPs, so you can just like flex around other streamers if you're subscribed. Oh my god, oh no, I'm not gonna say that, because like I never want to say that on like stream or live stream, so I'm like, I didn't say anything. But if you want to sub, then you get those MPs as well, and then you can like show that to other streamers. Like you can flex that, like basically. But yeah, like those avatars is really fun to do, and those pixel art. I think I'm getting the hang out of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to visualize basically all the layout in Twitch. I'm going to turn that into pixel art stuff. So if you want to redeem, like for example, like a Sharky Wheel of Misfortune, I'm actually going to make a wheel in pixel form. Still need to work on that. So like, or like stay hydrated, so I'll make a bottle in pixel art. I now that I know a little bit how to make pixel art stuff, I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. So what you see me doing right now is like the legs, or like the begin part of the leg. So I first use a like a curve tool, and not that I'm going to use that as a leg, but I'm going to use it as a reference to see like how far the leg needs to be, sort of, to give it, and then I'm going to work around it, and then like I'm going to like sculpt over it basically, and delete stuff and stuff like that. So this is only for me to see the reference of like how I want to have the leg is going to show. Well, on the other side, so this, you can now see the pose, basically what I'm going for. So there will be one leg is going to like stand a little bit like behind him, and then the other leg, the other side, the right side of his leg, is going to be straight. So you can see me doing that right now. So you can see a little bit of like what my pose of the horse is going to be, and so something like this. The leg's going to be a little bit longer eventually in the end result, but that's basically what I'm going for as a pose, and I think that's a very cool pose. A lot of horses do it like this. I see a lot of pictures of horses doing this, so I thought like this is maybe a very like an iconic way to make a horse like that. So that's why I'm doing it like that. But the legs were like, this is like, I think this will take me 50 minutes to do both legs. I'm not sure if I did both of them. Maybe one leg, I don't know. But like it took me 50 minutes to complete one leg at least. But eventually I got sort of, I'm not really super happy with the end result, But I think for the horse that it's going to be like an evil one, I think it's fine. I think it's okay. It doesn't have to be super accurate in real life, so that's because like it's a little bit of my own imagination of like how an evil horse needs to look, as long as like it makes still a little bit sense that it like is a horse looking like an animal. But yeah, it's like it was a little bit tricky, this one, I'm not going to lie. But backing back to the like Twitch, basically it's I really want to do a little bit more, and as long as I have, of course, the time to do it, and and also if I have like yeah, sadly I cannot stream, I cannot like make it a living out of this, sadly. I would if I could, if I was so would it do stream dreams every day if I could, but I cannot, sadly. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to stream. I will still stream from time to time dreams, and I really want to like interact a little bit more, so that's why I also have now impies walking around, and I will make more, so there will be a lot more, so that there will be so many different impies eventually going to walk around on stream, that you can choose your avatar and stuff like that. So the more variety there is, the better, and also with different color versions, stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be super fun, and that's like a little bit my plan, what I really want to do, to make something like that, because I'm new to stuff like pixel art. But now that I know a little bit of like how to make pixel art, basically, yeah, I'm having fun. Maybe I can do stream it maybe someday, or maybe I can like show it on YouTube, maybe one impy, if I'm going to make one impy, and maybe I will do that. Maybe I'm considering doing that, just like make one imp version as like in pixel art, and then I will like make a video out of it. I think that will be fun. Let me know in the comments actually what you think about that idea. Let me know if you would like to see me doing that like as a video content, to see how I do pixel art. A disclaimer, it's not going to be like super high quality, but I don't really need high quality, because like the impies are very small on the screen. So you're not really going to see it, but it's like, I must say, like doing like pixel art stuff, it's like you have to think differently of like details. Like if you know my content, if you know stuff what I do in dreams, I love put details in my creations, right? I always love to add additional like sometimes maybe unnecessary details on the sculpture. And with pixel art, you cannot really do that, because that will clutter things out. You're not going to see clear what it's going to look or how it's going to look. So you need to think differently of like, okay, what do I want to show, and what can I use as a pixel, and will that still like look like that if you're like zooming out a little bit? And so you really need to think differently if you're going to do something in pixel form. And but now that I'm like doing that more often, I'm having fun with that. I can see why people like, for example, like Odoriano or the Twin Borders like to do sometimes like pixel art stuff, because it's fun. It's time consuming. I have to admit that, but it's a lot of fun. Now impies are not like super time consuming, of course, because like they are small, but I still need to like think of like what do I want to show. And I made some original versions, like the ice cone, basically. Like there's like one imp sitting in an ice cone, and maybe me the molecule can make it. That would be an honor. I think I think it's really cute, like an impy as in an ice cream form. So maybe I can give them some ideas. But that was like one of the things that I was proud of. I'm also proud of the Reaper version of the imp, So basically the imp is inside the hood, like he's wearing a hood, of course, and a cape, like a wand or a cape, what is it? And so yeah, he's like inside there, and then and then like he's walking around. So like yeah, I had like a lot of like fun. And wait, like a side cycle, and it's just like it is fun to do stuff in pixel art, but you really need to think like ahead of like what you want to visualize something as. Like, okay, this one has like fur, so how I'm going to visualize in pixel form fur, right? Because like you only can do like squares, so you really need to think of like, okay, how can I make it look like a furry like fur a fur type of pixel. So you really need to like think differently to that. And I have like a cat that has like a little bit fur, of course, like in the style of like the impy, of course. So like there's like with the fur going around, like more like how paint work in Dreams. So I did that like that, and I must say that I was like quite happy with the outcome. But yeah, like pixel it's I never knew I was going to say this. Like pixel is very fun to make. I can definitely see why like Odorian O makes sometimes so many pixel games, because it is very fun and it is a cool way to make things, because like you need to think differently in a way of sense of like, okay, how it's going to look. Like I did one time one of his challenges, but that was like not pixel art, that was like symbols only. You can watch that on my YouTube channel still if you're curious about that. Like the Sushi Adoshi one, but then in shape only version. It's not of course like pixel, but it's the same way of thinking. Like it's the same way of thinking, because like you only have certain at least like you have then a little bit more to work around with, like different shapes, like more shapes, but it's still the same way of thinking if you're going to make a pixel art, because like you need to think, okay, like you have some like limitations of like certain shapes that you cannot do. You were not allowed to use blending and stuff like that, so you had to do like think differently with that. So that's like basically like eventually what I did with the Shishidoshi one in the shape only version is that, okay, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to combine certain like and make it use it as like a sort of like a three-dimensional way of doing pixel art. But it was really fun challenge. Like I really wanted to take part of that, because like it was really fun to do, also for me to trigger myself, or like to learn new things in like in general, like basically do things out of my comfort zone, because that's always what I want to do. I never want to go always like, that's why I'm sculpting on horse right now. That's really not in my comfort zone. That's really out of my comfort zone, because like I'm not really good at making animals, at least I'm not really familiar with that or comfortable with that. So this was like very out of my comfort zone, and this is definitely not going to be the best looking horse that I'm going to make. But yeah, I mean, like it's the first one, so I do my best with this one to make it as good as possible. But I always try to always improve myself, and to look further, and to discover new things, and to try out new things. And I really love to do that, and it's something that like yeah, I really wish that like this may be something I want to give to other people as well, is that like if you're always like try to like be safe with your sculpting and always like do the same thing basically, I would like maybe suggest you to to broaden your horizon a little bit and see if you can do more, as in like do different things. If you want like things that you are not very familiar with yourself, you can like maybe try to figure out like hey, I've never made this before in my life, or like this is completely out of my comfort zone. Like do that, like, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like make mistakes, because like making mistakes, we learn from making mistakes. And sometimes you need to make multiple mistakes to learn it. But like you will learn from that. Like, and you don't be afraid to fail the first time. Ads, like, and also don't be scared what people are going to say or judge about it. You just like try to do little different things so that you can like scope, like broader your horizon, and because it will only be benefiting yourself eventually in the future. Because like if you're going to then like make a game or in creation and you need something of that sort of thing that you had learned like a few times ago, you can now do that out of your head, and you're familiar with that then, and that will be like eventually like benefiting yourself. Like there's like a few things in Dreams still that I really want to tackle. It's music, for example. Like music is one of them that's it is kind of out of my comfort zone. I do already know a little bit like beats and stuff like that, and but I cannot read notes, and I don't know like so I really want to like tackle music still. And I already have made music so far. I've made a few music pieces in Dreams, but they're not like super quality. They're just like random like melodies and stuff like that. But that's really what I really want to like master still, is music, because like music is so important in creations and video games and stuff like that. So I really want to like do that. Also, what I really want to like tackle is animation. Like how cool would it be if I'm actually going to like animate this horse, for example? That would be very cool, right? Or there's so many things I still need to like broaden my own horizon as well. Like my safe zone is sculpting, right? My safe space is letting me do sculpting. There's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're like, if that's like, sometimes like people say like I'm not going to say like, for example, you have to broaden your horizons, because sometimes like people feel comfortable in certain things and not really comfortable in doing other stuff. I will only say like at least try it. And if you're like then like see like, okay, this is actually not really my type of cup of tea, then you don't have to do it ever again. Like, but at least try it, maybe for yourself if you want, and then see if it's something that's like for you to like to do. And I would suggest you to do that, but you don't have to, of course. But but at least then you know if that's like something you would like want or not. But yeah, it's just like there are so many things that I really need to discover myself, and especially the music part and the animation part, and also some other different ways of sculpting. Like for example, when I talk about the like the pixel art. Like I never done that before, and now I'm doing it a lot of times on making avatars, so it's really fun. And like making an animal like now with a horse, like I never made a horse before, and this is like the first time I did that, so I like going back and forth. So maybe the second horse, maybe I can speed up a little bit of the progress, because like now I know how the horse looks a little bit. So I can like do it like in the second time when I'm going to do this, I can like speed up the progress a little bit. So yeah, that's like a lot of things that I still need to tackle myself. And and like animation, for example, or not per se animation, but like making a sculpture alive. So for example, if you have like made a horse and sculpt, I really want to learn for myself to rig it, like to rig the character, the horse in this case, and then like make the horse actually animate and stuff like that. That would be, I think that would be so cool. to learn that. I know there are a lot of dreamers are very great with that, and I sometimes watch their videos or tutorials to get a little like an inspiration of like how they do it. But eventually I really want to like learn that for myself and learn how to to animate the character. Basically that's really what I eventually want to do. So here I'm almost like done with the first part of the video. I'm giving a little bit of bones, as you can see, to the legs to give a little bit more like bone structure, because like he is a buffed he is a buffed horse. So that's like just like one part of the leg, and I will do the other one the other day. So thank you so much for watching, listening, and hope to see you in the next video. I hope, let me know if you like this content, the way of content doing, so I can do it more often. And we'll do it with the horse, but let me know in the future for the future content if you want something like this as well. I really had like a ton of fun to make this horse, and the second video is we're going to continue with the horse. We're going to paint it eventually as well. And do some like additional stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye everybody, and as always, don't forget to dream. Bye bye.